Welcome to the Thunderdome Toddler Edition. This is where the real adventure begins, and every day is a new challenge. Congratulations! You've made it to the terrible twos. This is a milestone worth celebrating, even if it comes with its own set of challenges. Buckle up, Buttercup, because it's going to be a wild ride. From car seat battles to roller coaster emotions, every moment is an adventure. Imagine a tiny human with the lung capacity of an opera singer and the emotional range of a moody teenager. Their expressions can change in an instant, keeping you on your toes. Now, picture that tiny human covered in spaghetti sauce and wielding a sippy cup like a weapon. Mealtime becomes a battlefield, and you never know what to expect. That's the terrible twos in a nutshell. Chaos, mess, and unpredictability are the new norms. But fear not, fellow survivors. There are moments of pure joy and relief that make it all worthwhile. I'm here to guide you through this hilarious, albeit chaotic phase of parenthood. Together, we can find the humor in the madness and share tips to make it through. As a mother of two under 4, I've seen it all. The epic meltdowns, the irrational demands, and the moments that test your patience. The uncanny ability to turn any household object into a musical instrument, usually at 3 a.m. The noise can be overwhelming, but it's all part of the experience. Trust me, you're not alone. There's a whole community of parents going through the same thing, and we're here to support each other. So grab a glass of wine, or 3, take a moment to relax, and remember to take care of yourself too. Put on your noise-canceling headphones and find those precious quiet moments whenever you can. And let's navigate this madness together. Through the ups and downs, the laughter and tears, we'll make it through the terrible twos and come out stronger on the other side. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more advice on handling tantrums and surviving the toddler years. Hit the bell icon to stay updated with our latest videos. Remember those carefree days before kids when you could sleep in, eat a hot meal, and go to the bathroom? Alone? Yeah, me neither. Those days seem like a distant dream, a mirage in the desert of parenthood. Welcome to the new normal, where every day is an adventure in chaos and every moment is an opportunity for your toddler to test the limits of your sanity. It's like living in a never-ending episode of a reality show, where you are the star and the challenges are relentless. Getting dressed? Forget about it. What used to be a simple task now feels like negotiating a peace treaty with a tiny, irrational dictator. Your toddler will insist on wearing a swimsuit, rain boots, and a princess crown all at the same time. And you know what? You'll let them, because sometimes it's just not worth the battle. Going out in public? Be prepared for stares, whispers, and maybe even a few gasps of horror as your little angel transforms into a screaming banshee because you dared to cut their sandwich into triangles instead of squares. Public outings become a test of your patience and your ability to ignore judgmental glances. And don't even get me started on bedtime. The bedtime routine is like a marathon that never ends. Just when you think you've finally gotten them to sleep, they'll pop up like a jack-in-the-box, demanding a glass of water, a bedtime story, and a full-blown dance party. It's a nightly ritual that tests the limits of your endurance. It's enough to make you want to pull your hair out and maybe join them in that dance party. Because at the end of the day, amidst all the chaos and exhaustion, there are moments of pure joy and laughter that make it all worthwhile. Parenthood is a wild ride, but it's one you wouldn't trade for anything. Ah, the dreaded tantrum. It's a rite of passage for every parent, a moment that tests your patience and resilience. It's like a Category 5 hurricane hitting your living room, leaving chaos and destruction in its wake, complete with ear-splitting screams, flailing limbs, and a tidal wave of tears that seem never-ending. But don't worry, there are ways to weather the storm and come out the other side with your sanity intact. First and foremost, remember that your toddler is not possessed, although it may feel that way sometimes. They're just little humans with big feelings. They're simply overwhelmed by big emotions they don't yet have the words to express. It's a tough world for a toddler. So, what's a parent to do? Step 1, stay calm. Take deep breaths and remind yourself that this too shall pass. Easier said than done, I know, but losing your cool will only escalate the situation. Step 2, try distraction. Whip out their favorite toy, something that always brings a smile to their face. Put on a silly song, do a funny dance, or make goofy faces. Anything to break the cycle of tears, or simply redirect their attention to something else. Sometimes a change of scenery can work wonders, and if all else fails, there's always the timeout chair, or, as I like to call it, the chill-out zone. A place for them to cool down and regain their composure. Just be prepared for the inevitable escape attempt. They're crafty little ones after all, but with patience and love, you'll both get through it. If there's one word you'll hear more than any other during the terrible twos, it's no. It's like a broken record stuck on repeat, driving you slowly insane. But before you tear your hair out, remember that your toddler's newfound love of the word no is actually a sign of their developing independence. They're discovering that they have a voice and that they can use it to express their opinions, even if those opinions are as simple as no to everything. The key to surviving this phase is to pick your battles. Does it really matter if they wear mismatched socks? Probably not. But if they're about to stick a fork in an electrical outlet, then by all means unleash your inner drill sergeant and yell no at the top of your lungs. Just try to save your energy for the truly important battles. Lower those expectations. We're just trying to survive here. Remember those Pinterest-worthy parenting blogs you used to read? The ones with the perfectly behaved children and the spotless homes? Yeah, toss those out the window. The terrible twos are not the time to strive for perfection. In fact, it's best to lower your expectations altogether. Embrace the chaos, accept the mess, and give yourself permission to not have it all together. Focus on survival, not success. If you manage to get through the day without a major meltdown, consider it a win. And if you happen to find a moment to shower, brush your teeth, or even just sit down for 5 minutes, well, that's practically a spa day. Remember, this too shall pass. Eventually, your little terror will grow out of this phase and into a somewhat civilized human being. Potty training, because who needs sleep anyway? Just when you thought you were out of the woods with the sleepless nights of infancy, along comes potty training to steal your precious shut-eye. It's a rite of passage for both parents and toddlers, and it's rarely pretty. Be prepared for accidents, setbacks, and a whole lot of laundry. The key is to stay consistent, patient, and armed with a good sense of humor, and maybe a hazmat suit. Remember, every child develops at their own pace, so don't compare your little one to others. Celebrate the small victories, like a successful trip to the potty or a dry night, and try not to get discouraged by the accidents. Mealtime mayhem, the art of negotiating with a dictator in diapers. Remember when mealtimes used to be enjoyable? Yeah, me neither. With a toddler at the helm, dinner time becomes a battle of wills, a test of patience, and a masterclass in negotiation. Be prepared for food to be thrown, milk to be spilled, and your carefully crafted meal to be rejected with a disgusted look. The key to surviving mealtimes with a toddler is to pick your battles. Offer a variety of healthy options, but don't force them to eat if they're not hungry. And if they only want to eat macaroni and cheese for a week straight, well, at least they're eating something. Just remember to hide the good snacks. Let's talk about public outings. Brace yourselves, people. Taking a toddler out in public is like trying to wrangle a wild animal, unpredictable, messy, and potentially dangerous, mostly to your eardrums. Be prepared for stares, whispers, and the occasional judgmental glare from strangers who have obviously forgotten what it's like to have a toddler. The key to surviving public outings with a toddler is to be prepared. Pack a bag of tricks, snacks, toys, books, anything to keep them entertained. Choose your destinations wisely. Avoid crowded places, loud noises, and anything that requires them to sit still for more than 5 minutes. And if all else fails, there's always the good old-fashioned emergency exit. Finding the humor, because sometimes you just have to laugh or cry. Let's face it, the terrible twos can be downright hilarious. From the ridiculous things they say to the outrageous things they do, toddlers are natural-born comedians. So when you're feeling overwhelmed, frustrated, or ready to pull your hair out, try to find the humor in the situation. Share your stories with other parents, laugh at the absurdity of it all, and remember that this too shall pass. And if all else fails, there's always wine. You're not alone. Solidarity, my fellow survivors. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this, it's that you're not alone in this journey. Every parent goes through the terrible twos, and we all survive eventually together. So find your tribe, connect with other parents, and share your stories, your struggles, and your hilarious anecdotes. Because sometimes, just knowing that you're not the only one who's ever been peed on, screamed at, or held hostage by a tiny human with a penchant for the word no is enough to get you through the day. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video with other parents. Let's support each other through the terrible twos.